Hello, everyone. Welcome back to The Grace Save is a Better Way. My name is Zion. I am the Zion of the Most High God of Israel. I earned that title through a lifetime of service to Yahweh, the God of Israel. But his name is no longer Yahweh. His name is Ishi. And that name comes to us from the Bible. It's part of the prophecy of Israel, which foretells me. I am the Zion of the Most High God of Israel, of chapter 54 of Isaiah. And I have been taught many things by our alien gods that we call gray. And they have asked me to teach you what they have taught me. And today, they have asked me specifically to do a program which I'm calling the lifting of the veil. Now, everything that I do it from the context of the prophecy of Israel. That is why I am the Zion of the Most High God of Israel. So everything that I'm doing is based on the prophecy. And in the prophecy, Isaiah tells us that when God returns, he will wipe away all tears by lifting the veil of death. And Ishi, who was once Yahweh, has asked me to do that for you today. And the reason why he's asked me to do that is because they want you who are suffering in mourning from the loss of loved ones from COVID-19 and other natural means, and all those means of which will come. They want you to understand death so that you no longer have to suffer from the loss of a loved one. Now, when I first began talking to Ishi telepathically, because I am a telepath, I asked him what his name was, and he told me that I could not speak his name because it was too long. Their language is eons upon eons older than ours, and it is telepathic. It incorporates many aspects of their senses. And his name, he told me, is his lineage. So he begins with his current incarnation, and his name contains the name of every person that he has ever been, back to his first life, back on his homeworld. Now, their language compresses that name through visualization. So as he speaks his name, you see that like images of all those lives, because he remembers them all. So names are sacred things to the gray. They allow us to short clip their names because we can't speak their language. It's too fast for us. But so I call him Ishi because that is the name given to him from Scripture. And he wants me to explain to you the ritual of death so that you can understand that there is the means by which to end the suffering of death. Now, when we die, we wait until our soul can no longer maintain the body we're in, and it just ejects itself. because it can't stay there anymore. It's too toxic. So it jumps out. And it jumps out so fast, and we don't know what's happening. So we forget because we're in shock. And then we innately go to the first coupling that we come upon, and we just become that. So that if you die and two dogs are doing it down the block, you're going to be a puppy. And you're going to forget that you were ever a human. You'll forget all of those lifetimes. So, they have a ritual. Now, there are still accidental deaths, but there's rituals for that too. So, in this ritual situation, there is a guild for that a couple who wants to have a baby. They join the parenting guild. They take classes that teach them how to be good parents. Well, they already know, but it's like a refresher course. So they go through this training to prepare for being a parent. They get everything ready, and somebody who has decided that their body is no longer functioning well enough to maintain it, or for whatever reason wants to migrate to a new body, they join another guild. And the couple looking for a child will get to go through the options of those seeking new parents. So if they want a girl, they find a girl option. They choose a girl option. If they want a guy, they choose a guy. But, it's like, if they want a mathematician, well, then they'll have to wait for a mathematician to show up. But, it's like, so each person will have, like, a profession that they belong to, and they'll have, a history, and the new couple can check out the, the future child. And they make their selection. Then, the doctors decide when the most optimum time for impregnation would be. And the chosen recipient then holds their final ceremony. Now, they've been training for their moment of death if they don't remember. I mean, we'll have to be trained, but they don't really have to be trained because they've done it before. But anyway, they go through this ritual where they step out of the body they're leaving, they sever the connection between the two bodies, between their body and their energy field, and then they go to this this set up location where the mating is taking place, and then conception occurs. The soul that is being born has already met their parents beforehand. Because once the choice is made, then there's a meeting and to finalize it to make sure that this is the right fit for them. It's like custom. They custom pick their kid, and in the same sense, the kid custom picks the parent, and then the family and friends of the if you want to hold the ceremony for that, it's like it's so they literally step out of their body and they step into the conception room and they're born and they're conceived. So yes, conception is the time that the soul is born. It's alive from the time of conception. Because if there's no soul to conceive, if there's no soul waiting to be whatever's being done, it's like If you want to be a puppy, go find a puppy. Go find a dog, two dogs mating, and be a puppy. But if you want to be a human, you have to go through this ritual. You have to, and so we're going to be instituting this ritual in Zion, so that there will be no more sorrow and death, because you, yes, you get a new life with new parents and a new body, and you get to grow up again. That's part of the fun. You get to, you know, go back to school, relearn everything you already knew, take a refresher course, and then you get to choose a whole new, just because you used to be that thing doesn't mean you don't want to be something else in the next go round. And, and it's like circumstances of you always become a different person every time you're reborn. It's part of the fun. It's like, yeah, you say goodbye to your old friends from your old life, but you get a brand new life. And you can stay within families. So that if if you want to be within your family group, you can do that. You can say, okay, so and so's just getting married, and boy, I'm hurting really bad. How about I just become their kid? There's no sorrow in that. So we will find our own ritual for death, which will allow us to remember. And in remembering the pain of this loss, there will be no loss, because you always go on. And when you know how to reincarnate, you can reincarnate wisely. So when the gray come, those we will have the option of the ritual death. Or, it's like, if people are old-fashioned and want to die the old-fashioned way, they can do that. But there will still be the knowledge that the soul carries on. Death is but a doorway into another life. You step out of the one body and you step into the next. And in a society that understands the mechanism and the means of reincarnation, then the fear of death can be done away with. And the need for sorrow can be done away with. Because there's no sorrow in a death when the memories are retained. So, we can learn how to remember and put death behind us once and for all. Because to us, death is a final ending that can never be undone. But that's not how the Greys see it. That's not how they live it. That's not how they've lived it since before our solar system was created. Their memories go back that far. And our memories can start now. This can be the first life of our ascended beings. And we can retain the memories of every lifetime that we live from this point on, and always have connection to those that are leaving an old, worn out body for a newer, better model. So, may the Grey watch over you, guide you, protect you, and keep you from all harm, and wipe all tears from your eyes. May they teach you right from wrong. May you be worthy of them. May your thoughts, words, and deeds reflect truth, good, and light. The unicorn way. Find your joy and pursue it. Make that your life sword. That'll make you happy. If you do drugs, stay happy and high. You have every right reason to. That's what the Grey tell me. And this is what the Greys say. And it is definitely a better way. So I'm going to say later now. And never say goodbye.